What's up guys, Isaac here, and today we'll be connecting Instantly into Clay. So something that nobody talks about, I don't know why Clay hasn't talked much about this, is the fact that they've made a native integration with Instantly, which makes my task and maybe yours if you're doing cold emailing a lot easier. You can actually go in here and just write Instantly and add lead to campaign, and there's so many things you can do with this. We're going to get into that in a second. Back then you would actually have to go in and do like HTTP API request, and it was just a very daunting task. So they just made my job a lot easier. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. First of all, you would need an Instantly Hypergrowth account, and also you would need a Clay account as well. Go back to your Instantly account, and I already assume that you know the basics here. Press on add new campaign. We're in the campaign section right now. Add new campaign called test campaign 1. Let's just call it 1. And then let me just move myself here. Once you've created the campaign, you can go into your settings, go into settings, go into integrations, and now you would have to generate a new API key. Don't do this if you already have an API key, because if you already have an API key, it's most likely that you're actually using it for different scenarios. So I'm just going to copy my API key, because if you generate the new one, it's going to delete the previous one. So copy API key, get back to Clay. Let me just move myself over here again. And you can add a new column, add enrichment. It's going to be Instantly. Add lead to campaign. This is just some sample data. We have 7,500 this one. So I've already connected mine. You can basically press on this tab and you can already see your connections, but you can press add new account and give it a name, something that you can actually remember, and then add your API key there, right? Once you've done that, test the connection and you would see this green check mark, and then you're good to go. So you can go down here and then in the campaign ID, always press refresh fields because you recently just added a new one. So we call this the test campaign 1. And this option here, skip if lead is in workspace, is kind of self-explanatory, right? So you would basically skip this lead if it's in the workspace, but there are some circumstances where you would have this off, because if you want to retarget the same individuals or businesses again, you would actually have this on. So email, they already know this section here is basically your variables, okay? And already with the email selection, they already can tell that, okay, this is the email. So first name, we're just going to add that lead, first name, last name. There we go. You have the company name, we have custom variables. If you import and export directly into Instantly, you would see this option of having like, you know, phone number, domain. You have all these native elements you can put in. But in here, you would actually have the custom variables. So we can call this URL, paste in the domain URL, domain, there we go. And then you would also have something like phone number or whatever personalizations that you would use. Add them as a custom variable. It's not like you can't do this in the future, but it's a little bit easier to just do it at one go. So delete this one. Now, when it comes to the run settings, that's actually where the magic kind of comes in, okay? The run settings means that only run this column if something is true. So everybody nowadays, basic knowledge, you have to validate the leads, right? You have to do the email validation. So you can use zero bounce, debounce, million verify, I don't care. You have to use something to validate the emails. And that often returns either it's invalid, it's valid, it's risky, whatever, you know. So you would actually want to filter this on only valid emails, so you can run this column on only valid emails. So why is this important? Because then you don't have to import and export like 3-4 times, and you have everything into one place. It just makes things a lot easier, okay? So for instance, you can actually see that I have my column here. I think, yeah, here, this is my verification tool. So when it says okay, that's where I know that, okay, I can actually run this, okay? So use your only run if conditional. You can also do it in another way. You can just filter them based on those that are okay or catch all if you're actually focusing on them as well. And then you can save this and save and run 10 rows, right? Just test it. Let's go back to the campaign. We can press on leads, and there you go. You have the 10 leads that just came in. Just to recap, 3 things that are very important about this feature. First of all, it would save you a lot more time. Secondly, you can only run if some criteria are met. The third thing is that, let's just say you have a lead sheet where you know everything is just working, everything is perfect, and you would just want to add more leads. You can simply do that and just add them into the campaign. So basically saves you a lot more time. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.